Hey, I'm Greg.
I'm Felicia.
And we are SCT Adventures. And recently we took a cruise on the what?
MSC Meraviglia.
Meraviglia. Say that 10 times real fast. You don't have to do that, but anyway. She loves looking at me like that. But anyway, we took this cruise on the MSC Meraviglia because we had never been on MSC. We'd heard a lot of great things from some of our friends that had cruised MSC. We wanted to experience MSC for the first time. And today we're going to talk about the things we liked
Versus the dislikes.
See, I was waiting to see if she was going to jump in there. But yeah, we're going to talk about things we liked versus disliked on the MSC Meraviglia. Got hung up there for a second, but we'll be right back and we'll tell you the things we liked and didn't like about the MSC Meraviglia. So, things we like and things we didn't like about the MSC Meraviglia.
Greg and Felicia style.
Yeah. So before we get started too far into this, if you have never seen our channel before, we would like to invite you to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button that's up on the screen where? She's trying to find it. It's up on the screen somewhere. Click it. We would greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel, clicking the notification bell so you don't miss a moment of content. Trust me. You'll get your money's worth. Anyhow, it's free. But jump right into it. Let's start off with the things that we really liked about the MSC Meraviglia. And the thing I noticed right off that's different. Now, keep in mind, we come from Carnival. We've mainly cruised Carnival up until this point. So
We've only cruised Carnival.
I wasn't going to say that. But yes, but coming from Carnival, one of the first things I noticed right off the bat is when you log into their app, and we'll get to the app here in a few minutes, but the app gives you the option to have a free chat. So anybody you're cruising with or anybody you meet in line in the 2-hour embarkation process, hopefully yours won't be 2 hours, but anybody you meet in line or what have you, if you meet some friends, the chat option with their app is free.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't cost anything, whereas if you've cruised Carnival before, you will notice that the app function in Carnival is $5 per person on the cruise to keep in contact throughout the ship. This is a really nice feature.
Yeah, it is.
The thing about it is you have to have a little bit of information, which we found out later on our cruise because we wanted to keep in contact with some friends that we met. You do have to know their name and their cabin number. It wasn't their booking number, was it? It was the cabin number. Mm-hmm. But you have to know their cabin number and their name. So just knowing their name, you can't find them. I think on Carnival you can just know the name and look them up. But you have to know the cabin number. So get that information, put it in the chat, and for free you can keep up with them. So that's number one thing that we did like. The second thing that we liked about MSC Meraviglia, or MSC in general, was there were so many hand washing stations around the ship.
Very nice hand washing stations, like a real sink.
Yeah, you walk up right there as you walk into the buffet. I mean, there's plenty of places to stop, and they were never busy to the point that you couldn't stop in and just, wash your hands before headed to the buffet. So,
there's at least 3 on each side of the walkway.
Yep, and they were always stocked. We didn't have any problem with it, so we really enjoyed those. Going along with that same vein, another thing that we liked about the ship was the one thing you pointed out in our tour.
Everywhere I turned around, there was a bathroom.
Bathrooms everywhere.
And they're so nice. I just had to figure out how to use the sink while ago.
And they were nice, spacious bathrooms.
They were not very nice bathrooms, and they also had very nice sinks inside where you had the water, the soap, and the blow dryer for your hands all there together. It took me a minute to figure out how to work it.
They didn't seem as cramped as on Carnival. At least on the older ships of Carnival, everything seems kind of cramped. They're trying to get everything into those tight spaces. These seem more like just...
They were spacious, nice bathrooms.
Standard bathrooms. So we really liked the bathroom situation on MSC. The third, or the next thing that we really liked was just the overall decor of the ship. From the room, we had an interior cabin, but it was really nice. I mean, it felt like, I travel a lot for work, and it just felt like any nice hotel room that I stay in.
And it had nice artwork, but it also had nice hooks outside your bathroom door to hang hats and whatever you needed to.
I won't put it in the dislike column for our room, but we were left with a slight gift from a previous passenger in our room. I won't tell you exactly what it is. If you want to find out, you can go check it out in our embarkation vlog from the MSC Meraviglia. But it required some assistance from the room steward and some disinfectant. But you can go check that out. But on the decor side of it too, the promenade or whatever it's called, the main thoroughfare on deck 6 with the LED canopy up top, that thing is beautiful. All the shops, just overall, the ship is just the staircase with the crystal. Everything was just phenomenal on the ship. We fell in love with it right off the bat. So you can't go wrong with MSC in the way they set these ships up. The next thing that I really like is if you have any kind of special needs and you're going on MSC, for years with Carnival, you have to call them, and sometimes you wait on the phone to say, hey, we're carrying this device with us. Like if you've got a CPAP or anything like that, you got to call and say we're carrying this, and they make note of it. And then when you get on the ship, you have to order your water or something like that. They've got this thing figured out with MSC. You literally, there's a form on the bottom of their webpage. You go fill out the form. You have to do it in plenty of time ahead of your cruise, but they'll have the water in your cabin. You don't have to pay for it. They take care of you in that aspect.
Very, very nice.
Takes a lot of the legwork out of it for you, and it's just very simple. Got to give MSC a big thumbs up for that. And the last thing, and there's so many things, we just narrowed it down to a few that we did like about it, was the touchscreens that are all around the ship. Everywhere you go, there's these giant LCD.
And they're not small.
No, they're large, like TVs, stood up vertically with touchscreens that you can touch, and information there in a bunch of different languages. So
it's the same thing. It's mirrored the same thing as you would find on your app on your phone, MSC app, but not everybody carries their phone around with them when they're out walking around. So you can just go to those touch screens and see what the daily activities are, the dining options.
Schedule you a dining option from there. Schedule you a show, because that is one thing with MSC. Not everything's free as far as shows and activities. So if you want to, I guess you can purchase some of the shows, but even the shows that are free, you still have to reserve your time. So you can do it from there as well. But yeah, check out the touchscreens all around the ship. So that wraps up the likes, the things that we really liked about it. Now we're going to switch gears and head to the dislikes. So these were some things that we really disliked about MSC. Now, keep in mind, we'll summarize how we really feel about it at the end of all this. But the thing that hit us the most about disliking it was the embarkation process. And this seems to be a theme with MSC, and hopefully they're going to get it figured out. Not everybody runs into this. We're a member of several MSC Facebook groups, and we've seen a lot of people that have not had any problem with this. But we've seen a lot of people that have, and that's the embarkation process. We were in line for well over 2 hours to get on the ship, and it was standing. Fortunately, it was in January.
Yeah, because an hour of it was outside.
And the weather in January in Florida is pleasant, so it's not bad. But had it been July and January, that would have been brutal for people to stand outside for 2 hours to get on the ship.
But now, to MSC's defense, it was a lot of ships in port that day. Mm-hmm. We were at Terminal 10, which we've never been at Terminal 10 before. We're usually like at, 3?
Yeah.
So, luck with the draw, bad luck on our part.
Yeah, they're blaming it on the port authority and the port workers and that sort of thing, but still, most other cruise lines don't seem to have those issues. So hopefully whatever problems they have at times getting people on the ship, they'll get that worked out. Like I said, we've seen a lot of people say, hey, it was 15 minutes for us from the car to get on the ship. So it's not every cruise. It's just the ones that they do have trouble with. And don't get me wrong, it's not just MSC. We've seen other lines that have had, at times, we had an instance with Carnival a year or so ago on the Carnival Ecstasy that was very similar to that experience. So we're not pointing it out just for MSC, but that was a problem. The difference being this time around there was a lack of communication. We never in that 2 hours saw an MSC worker that kind of told you what was going on or to get in this line or do this or that. Carnival usually has workers outside there at least pointing you in the right direction. So, and that seems to be MSC's MO. They don't give you a lot of communication. Even on the ship, you don't get a whole lot of do and come over the intercom. They don't talk a lot, which is kind of nice. If you don't want to be bothered on your vacation, you'll like that. But anyway, that's just one of the dislikes. The next thing that I really didn't care for, we've gotten used to the new muster drill process.
Very, yeah.
With the way the ships are doing them these days, and they have simplified the muster drill process on MSC. But the way they do it is everybody goes back to their cabin to watch a video, and then they start calling you by decks or sections to go down to your muster station.
It was decks. It was by deck, and the elevators. They shut the elevators off.
Yeah, you can't use the elevator, so you have to take the stairs, no matter what deck you're on, and go down to a certain level. And
Folks, there's 19 decks.
and check into your muster station area, and scan out. So it was a strange process there. I didn't really care for it. We've gotten so used to being able to get on the ship, and as soon as you get on the ship, go to your muster station area, scan, watch them do the little display of how to put the life jacket on, scan out, and you're done. This getting on the ship and then waiting hours and them calling you to your room and all that.
Everybody has to go to their room, watch a video, which in our case the TV didn't, or we couldn't get the TV to work in our cabin to watch the video, but we know how to put a life vest on, so we felt safe. And then you pick up your cabin phone and you call, and I guess you get logged into an automated system that takes your room number and that you've watched the video, and then you are released by decks to go simply just scan your card real quick.
Yeah. It's still better than the old way of standing outside in a big group for forever. So we'll give them props for that. The next thing that we disliked is the app. Their app needs some improvement. It's still a decent app. Like I said, the chat feature is great on it, but Carnival has got the app thing down. I mean, don't get me wrong, the app's hit and miss with Carnival. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but the features on it are really good. Being able to schedule your dining time and all that. The MSC's app just seems to be lagging behind a little bit there. It seems to be a little wonky to get in and get your Wi-Fi going. I mean, it wasn't overly complicated. I found it pretty easy to be able to get the Wi-Fi hooked up and all that, but just there could be a few more features added to it that I think would make it a little bit easier to use. But other than that, I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the app. So the next dislike was our buffet experience, because it was a very short cruise. We wound up not even eating in the main dining room, but a bunch of people must have done the same thing because the buffet ran out of plates. There was a time when you couldn't find a plate in the buffet, which is like, how do you run out of plates at the buffet? And so the food was really good, don't get me wrong, but when people are scampering around trying to find a plate, and then people are not happy, and so that was kind of a bad experience there.
And there were a couple of stations that didn't have ice at the lemonade water dispenser.
And I know they're still having a challenge getting enough workers on the ships and all that, and they seem to have that same problem here where it was a little messier than what we're used to at Carnival, because at Carnival you get up from your seat and you leave your plate for 2 seconds, it's picked up and gone. Here, you didn't have that problem. There were messy plates all over the place, and things were out. Juice areas were out of juice, and like she said, they were out of ice. So, they could improve a little bit there with the buffet experience, but I don't know. That's minor. These things are minor when we talk about it. The last thing that we kind of disliked was the bathroom experience on there. The bathroom was really nice in our room, but we heard a lot of people complaining about the same thing, and maybe it's a European thing, but there were no washcloths.
No, like what we had one person tell us that they had asked for washcloths and they never got them.
So we had towels, and there were hand towels, right? Mm-hmm. Towels and hand towels, but no washcloths whatsoever, and there were no what am I trying to say? So you're not helping me. She's not helping me here. She's looking at me like
3 hours later.
Kleenex.
Oh, yeah, the tissue.
There were no tissues. That's what I was trying to say. It's bad whenever your brain, you have a mini stroke or
I
something.
felt like we were playing charades.
Yeah. But yeah, there were no Kleenex.
But now, one of the things I didn't like in the bathroom was there's no sink area. There's no counter.
Yeah, I mean, it was a smaller bathroom on the
But it
smaller
was
side,
nice.
but it was a very nice bathroom. I love the shower, the glass door.
Yeah.
When you're used to just a shower curtain. But it was really nice bathroom. Other than the no Kleenex that I couldn't just think of, and the hand towels, the washcloths. I mean, we had the hand towels, but no washcloths. I love the shower. But anyway, but that's our likes versus dislikes. I'm sure there's a few more things we've probably missed. But overall, our experience with MSC is, would we cruise MSC again? Yes, we would. In fact, we'll be on the MSC Seaside
We got 2 cruises booked.
in a couple months, and then we've already booked the MSC Seashore for next year. So we are not disappointed with MSC. If you've already gotten mad because of the things we said and turned off this video, you missed the fact that we really like MSC, and we're going to continue to cruise MSC. We think you should too. These are just some things that we liked and we didn't like. Hey, if you found this video helpful at all and you enjoyed this content at all, check out some of our other content on the channel. Hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Don't forget to go over and check out our Facebook group and our Instagram that every once in a while we put something on. You see that look. Anyway, I'm Greg.
I'm Felicia.
And we are SCT Adventures. Thanks for following along with Greg and Felicia and SCT Adventures and anyone else we can rope into this crazy thing. We'll see you next time.